With the People's Democratic Party set to announce the running mate to its presidential candidate, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, on Thursday. Two names that have been constantly mentioned to fill the slot are Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike and his Delta State counterpart, Ifeanyi Okowa. But some papers are already reporting that Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike is a favorite to get the spot. Joining us on this show this morning to get more clarity on the PDP selection of Atiku's running mate is Debo Ologunagba, National Publicity Secretary of People's Democratic Party. Welcome to the morning show, Debo Ologunagba. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Dr. Abati. Thank you for having me.
Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Dr. Abati.
Good morning.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, thank you very much indeed. Well, quickly, is it true that the PDP, the National Working Committee, the BOT, other stakeholders have been meeting to make their own inputs into the choice of a running mate for the Vice President Atiku, for the former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, now the standard bearer of the PDP? And secondly, is it true, as reported in at least 3 papers this morning, Daily Trust, Vanguard, and The Cable, that the favorite is Nyesom Wike, as recommended from all these meetings that have been held and by other stakeholders? Let's have that clarification first. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Doctor, for having me once again. To your first question, yes. The PDP is meeting consistent with our own policies and our program. We have stated clearly that the PDP is the only organic party in Nigeria, conscious of its responsibility to the Nigerian people. And in line with that position, we have constantly evolved our processes, involving every organ of the party to ensure there's inclusiveness and there's a wide consultation. The presidential candidate of our party, consistent with that culture and character of our party, had sought for consultation through the NWC. And the NWC, because we're a party, we're a clearly democratic party, we ensure that we have every organ of the party participate in our decision-making process. So the BOT, the Governors Forum, former governors and former ministers under the platform of the PDP, and of course, the National Working Committee constituted an advisory body to look into those issues and consider the best candidate to run with our president candidate as vice presidential candidate for the 2023 election. So yes, the question that you asked, the answer to that is yes, a consultation. The second part is the speculation in the newspapers you reference, is Vanguard, Daily Trust, and The Cable. Well, what I can say to you is that that will be in the realm of rumor. We have a process as a party. Because we are organic, we follow through the processes. You will recall, for the first time in this country, because we understand the importance of participatory democracy, ensuring that every stakeholder, every organ of the party is involved in our decision-making process. For the first time, we introduced in our guidelines the need for us as a party to have a screening process for our vice president candidates as well as deputy governorship candidates. So that is part of the process that we put in place. And this is the beginning of that process. Consideration, advisory body, then need to get to the level where, in consultation with the president candidate about who is most suitable, particularly now that this country requires the best hands to steady it, because we are right now on the precipice and we need to get our country back. So the 2 questions, yes. The first one, yes, consultation is going on with the advisory body. Secondly, that process is ongoing, so any report of a particular candidate at this point will be probably premature.
Right, but it's still entirely possible. So can you tell us how far along you are in that process, seeing as your deadline is just around the corner on Friday, 17th of June?
Yes, thank you very much. We have started the process. Today, at 11 o'clock, the NWC will be meeting. I will expect that the advisory report will be considered. And so that's in the series of our process that I just mentioned earlier. Because we are organized, because we do have things in processes, because we involve every organ of the party need. So these processes don't just come like you put a button in a computer and you get an answer. It goes through a process because human elements are involved. Interests are concerned. We're considered all interests of the country, particularly in terms of unity, in terms of capacity, in terms of where we are. In the economy, we want to get the best team. And what we need is to ensure that every part of this process has the buy-in of members of our party, particularly in the interest of our country, Nigeria. So, yes, the process has started. Another part of it will take place in another 2-3 hours. And thereafter, before the end of the day, we'll probably be having more discussions, more information will be available to the public. The process is ongoing and is continuing even with another scheduled meeting of the NWC, National Working Committee, at 11 this morning.
Okay, so I'd like to just see if I can interrogate the process. What will be the prime considerations for the process? Let's interrogate the process. What will be the prime considerations for the process?
Well, the prime consideration will be Nigeria. The prime consideration for the process of the PDP is Nigeria. One, particularly the unity of this country. Two, the security of this country. Three, the well-being of this country. And so, for us, that has been the center point of all our conversation. We're conscious of the expectation and the duty of government, which is to provide security and welfare for the people. So in each of those decisions, that will be the key consideration. And that has always been. We're conscious of the Nigerian situation. We know that we've been taken too far down the drip with this government right now. So we need to recalibrate this country, reset ourselves, rescue it from the precipice, begin to redirect it, and then begin to rebuild. And in the process of doing that, what is paramount to PDP is the interest of Nigeria, of Nigerians, the unity of this country, the security of this country, and the well-being of this country on every sphere that has collapsed. Well, in your reporting just before we came online, we're talking about collapse of the national grid again. Again, those are issues that would focus on what do we do as a party for the Nigerian people. And so all these issues are considered in who becomes a partner to our president candidate, their capacity, their passion, the ability to deliver, and of course the track record. Having regards to the trust of the PDP, what we believe in for the well-being and more importantly the security of the Nigerian people.
Well,
so that's the key for it.
Just before you go, Debo Ologunagba, the standard bearer of the APC in his acceptance victory speech at the APC primary said the PDP is a poverty development party, a party of crickets, of
termites.
And termites, you know. And then in Ekiti yesterday, he also reminded his audience that PDP is a poverty development party. So what do you say to that as we try to wrap things up?
Yeah, thank you very much. We responded to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu from what we call ranting in the so-called acceptance speech. Number one statement to that. You see, a bad workman complains about his tools. A hopelessly irredeemable one complains about others. Nigerians can make a determination. Asiwaju Tinubu can come around and make all the noise about creating names for PDP. But Nigerian people know. They know where they were in 2015 and where they are today. The kitchen table discussions about what is the price of rice in 2015 and what is the price of kerosene in 2015 and what it is today. What's the price of dollar in 2015 and what it is today? How many Nigerians are unemployed in 2015 and how many are unemployed right now? We know, Nigerians know, and nobody can pull rules over us anymore. we recognize that the APC, like we always describe them, as a special purpose vehicle hurriedly put together to defraud Nigerians. But the good news is this: Nigerians now know better, that these are a bunch of incoherent sailors clubbered together only to come in to defraud Nigerian people. But they were wiser now. When you can see us, and you can do the comparison, Nigerians know the party that can speak for them, that have their interests at heart, as against people who are pure businessmen. The good thing is this: like in every SPV, the APC is in liquidation. And it will go down in 2023 as a liquidated party, if it is indeed a party. So we don't want to join issue with Bola Ahmed Tinubu, but he knows in his heart that they brought misery to this country. They brought chaos, not change. They brought our kids out of into unemployment. They put us into misery as a nation. They disunited this country. That's why we are going through this now. We have insecurity that was imposed on us by them. In 2019, leadership of the APC confirmed and confessed that they brought in terrorists into this country. Only last week, the interior minister of this country admitted that ISWAP were responsible for the bombing in our war and the killings there. And that makes me sad. Interior minister is saying to Nigeria that yes, as a party of APC, we have failed to protect Nigerians from terrorists who are foreigners. That means it's an admission of failure. Wow. Nigerians know this. Wow. He can sit on campaign podium and say anything, but the facts are there.
Okay, thank you.
And no much propaganda, no matter how large and orchestrated, can take the facts away.
Okay,
the good thing that Nigerians know better.
Thank you very much.
Looking forward to APC to be extinct, and they're looking forward to having PDP that have got good records.
Well, Debo, you have made your point. Thank you.
Yes, were there issues? Yes, we did. However, this is a better party that is poised towards the interest of Nigerians.
Okay.
And we're there ready
Thank
to
you,
vote
Debo.
for the election.
Thank you, Debo Ologunagba.
They are not ready. They go to look for.
Thank you, Debo Ologunagba. Your point has been made. Thank you very much indeed for joining us.